the design then that I have put together in Design Space. This one will be available on my profile for you as normal. If you don't know how to find a profile, there's going to be a short video below and above for you just about now, so that you can have a quick look at that video, and it's just going to show you really quickly how to find someone's profile in Design Space. This card was made a few weeks ago for Shelby because she passed her driving test first time. I was very proud of her, and I decided to make her a card. The only thing that's going to be different on this design when you see it in Design Space is that it will not have the Well Done Shelby on it, because that is a downloaded font. So if you wish to use the same font that I'm using, you'll need to grab that from Creative Fabrica, and I will put that down below in the description for you as well, so there'll be a link to that if you want to use that font. I'm using it a lot lately for all sorts of different projects, and I just really enjoy using it. It's a lovely font. It cuts really well both with vinyl and with cardstock. With this one, I have thickened it up ever so slightly with a really small slight offset, so I will go through all of that in a moment, and then we'll redesign this card and I'll show you how I did it. The thought process behind this card was that I wanted the L plate to be broken once she'd passed her test. So I decided to grab myself an L plate from Design Space, and this is an image from Cricut Access. So I'm going to grab that again now and go through everything with you. So you can see on the right hand side in the layers panel here, there are the L and the slice result of that square, but I'm going to go through all of that for you in a minute. So let's first of all click on this, and I'm going to find that image of the L. So let's grab that first of all, and we are going to add that to the canvas. And then we want to go back to the canvas again, and we also want to get that crack that we've got on there as well. So there's the crack. Let's add that to the screen also. So there's the crack, and there is the L plate. So first things first, we just need to change this so that it's how we want it to be. There are 2 layers here, and we only really want the bottom one. So we can just click on that outline layer and just hit this little eye icon, just so that we've now got rid of that and just got the L that we need. Then I'm going to change that to be red, because obviously L plates in the UK are red. Next, what we want to do is grab ourselves a shape. Just from the basic shapes menu, the free square is perfect. All you want to do is just make that big enough to cover your L, and then you want to click on send to back, so it's just there. Next, I will change the colour of that to be white, so that it really represents the L plate really well. Once we've got our L plate on the screen, we are going to select both of those layers. So we want the L and that square selected, and you can see that if I come over here, that is selected green, and so is the letter L. Then we're going to come up here to align, and we are going to click on center. So that is now in the middle of there. The next thing to do then is to put the crack through the card, and as you can see, the zigzag through here is a lot less pronounced than the original zigzag of this crack, so we need to change that, and I'll show you how to do that. Let's hide this card so we've got a little bit more space to work on the canvas. So what I did to change the zigzag on this was just come up to the padlock here and unlock it, and then what I did was just pull that in so it was quite thin, and then I stretched it out a little bit more so it makes it a lot less of a pronounced zigzag. Then I locked that back up again, and I'm going to just turn that round so that it's going to go across my card, and it's going to go all the way from one corner to the other corner. Now what you're going to want to do is duplicate that zigzag crack and just put that one to one side, because you are going to need to do 2 slices on these 2 layers here, because when we use slice we can only slice 2 things at a time, and obviously we have 3 layers here. So first thing to do then is to come over here and select your crack, hold down shift, and then you'll want to select the L. Okay, so now you've got 2 layers selected. Once you've got those 2 layers selected, you can let go of shift at this point, come down to slice and just click on slice. Now we can move away all of the bits that we don't need. Now all we want to do is get rid of those pieces because we don't need them anymore, but we do need our second piece of crack. So let's put that in there as well as we can. It's not an exact science, it doesn't need to be absolutely perfect, because don't forget, when you're lining this up with your cardstock, it's not going to be absolutely perfect anyway. So now what we want to do is put the crack through the square. So we've got the crack already highlighted. We want to hold down shift again, and then we want to select the square. So now again we've got 2 layers which are selected. Then come down to slice and hit slice again. That's done. Don't worry about the L disappearing, it's just been sent to the back. What I'm going to do now then is just move away the pieces that we don't need, and I can actually just click on that and I'll just send that to the back so that it's not going to be confusing as to what we've got there. So there is all our pieces gone. I think we might still have, yeah, I thought I'd left that behind. There is our cracked L plate. We can group that now, so that is perfect. The next thing to do then is create our actual card. So what we'll want to do is just shrink this down to be, I did mine at 11 centimetres, so let's just do that again at 11, and then my card is going to be about 13. So I need to just grab another shape. I'm going to go for the square again, and I want to again unlock the padlock. The width is going to be 26 centimetres, and then the height is 13. I can make this any colour that I like, so let's do the yellow again, the same as before. We're going to just bring that to the front, put that on there. Again, this doesn't need to be overly scientific. If you want to, you can put a score line on. So let's go to the shapes menu and select the free score line that's on there. And we want to make that 13 centimetres. So again, just come up to your sizing box and just put 13 in the height. Then we can select the yellow square and that score line by holding down the shift. Come up to align and click on centre, and those are both there now. Now it's important when we do this that we attach those together, because otherwise the Cricut won't know that we want that score line to be in that position. So all we want to do is just drag our mouse over the yellow box and the score line. You can see they're both highlighted. Come down again to the bottom and click on attach. Then we can again bring our L plate to the front and pop it on there. Now you could just send this card like this without any message on it or anything like that. It's pretty obvious that it's a passing the driving test card, but you might want to change it so that it's got the message on it like my other one did. I'll bring it back so you can see. And I wrote "Well done, Shelby" on it, but you could write whatever message you liked, so it's entirely up to you. I am going to add a message, so let's bring in some text and put in "You passed" and an exclamation mark, and then I'm going to choose a font. So I am going to choose the Hello October one, which I already have on the other card, and this is the one that you're going to grab from Creative Fabrica if you want to use it. So the first thing that I do is make it quite big, and then I'll come up to offset and I will type in 0.12 centimetres and hit enter, and then I will apply that. Now that offset is what I'm actually going to use, so I'm going to delete the original text, and then I can put this down to the size that I want it to be, and it'll fit on my card perfectly. So let's just pull that down a touch. Now you can either put it in the centre or you can put it at the top. It's entirely up to you. I think I'm going to put it at the top. I think I'm going to do it in black glitter as well this time, which will be nice. So there is our card. Next we need to get an envelope. So we can either make our own envelope, or you could have one that you've already got. If you're using a pre-cut, pre-scored card, which you know I'm a fan of, you could use that. But if you want to make an envelope, I'm going to do that next. The last thing to do then is to make the envelope. So what we're going to do is use a pre-done envelope from Cricut Design Space. This is just an image that's available here. So I will again put the image code for this envelope right now for you, so you can use this one if you want to, or again it will be on the project, which will be in the profile. So all this will be here ready for you to use. we need to resize this first of all. So the easiest way to do that is to get ourselves a shape. So again, the basic square, and we want to make this the same size as our card, which is 13 centimeters square. So let's do that. There is the shape of our card. So now what we want to do is get our envelope. Let's just hide the card so we don't mess anything up on that. And what we want to do is unlock the proportion padlock again up here, and we just want to stretch this so that it's going to fit. Now what we're going to do is make it so that it's going to fit over this square. So we need to do that. Let's just move our zoom down a touch, and then you can see now that that square fits in there perfectly. So all we need to do now is bring this over so that it's going to fit this way. Maybe a little bit more. We can just move that into the centre. I'm just going to make it a little bit taller, just so that we've got a little bit of wiggle room when we're putting the card inside of that envelope. There we go. So that is the perfect size for that now. We can delete that square because we've just used that as our template. So let's bring back the card. There is the card, there is the envelope. It doesn't really matter too much about the colours. So now we're ready to go and to put this together. So all you'll want to do is cut out all of the pieces and just glue them together in order. And then once you've done that, you'll be able to give this to somebody who has passed their driving test. And I hope that they will have a wonderful time driving around in their newfound car and their newfound freedom. I hope that you found this designing video to be really useful. I hope you've learned something new, and I'll see you soon for another video. Take care of yourselves. Bye!